today we will be learning how we can upload files in PHP using Ajax. In the last part we saw how we can upload the file like this. We just choose a file and click upload, and it directly sends action to upload.php that is here, and the file is uploaded, but the page is reloaded and we are redirected to another page. But today we will be learning how we can do this using Ajax so that we will not have to reload the page, or we will not be redirected to another page. So let's see how we can do that. But first of all, we have already seen how we can upload a file like this. So if you want to check out that tutorial, it will be linked, will be in the description or in the comments or somewhere around the top right corner. You can check that out. Now we will only be doing the Ajax part, not the PHP part, but since as you can see it is already done, so I'll just do the Ajax part right now. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing what we need to do is, instead of sending directly to upload.php from HTML, we remove that part. We will let Ajax handle that part. Also, we remove this thing. We just leave out the encoding and ID. We set the ID to file upload form. So this is the ID that we will be using in Ajax, so we need to have the ID. And besides that, everything else needs to be the same. And let's just change this. We have this just upload, so instead of upload, let's just write Ajax upload. Okay, one more thing, I'll have this thing in GitHub, so you can download all this thing from GitHub if you are having issues. Okay, now okay, this is the only change we need to do in HTML. Now besides that, we need to create a script. All right, so let's create a script. And now we get the element that is our form, that is file upload form, and we add an event listener. So we are listening whenever the user clicks on button and this button is clicked, we are listening for that event. So that event is called submit. And once there is this event, we pass it to a function, and that function will first prevent default. That means it will prevent the default action of HTML form, and then we will just upload the file, right? But this upload file is a custom function. We will need to write what's inside this upload file. So let's create a function called, what do we call it? Upload file. Let me just copy it from here. And in this function we will be uploading using Ajax. All right, so first let's write file input equals to document dot get element by ID, and we are getting file input, right? Okay, one more thing we need to, because our file will be in this input field, we need to give an ID to this also. So let's give it an ID of file input, and we'll be using this ID here in our get element by ID. There is file input, and file is from file input above. We just from this variable file input, we just get the file. So since it's an array, it can have multiple files, but we'll be getting the first one right now. And in the next part, we'll see how we can upload multiple files. So stay tuned, or subscribe if you want to follow and if you want to learn that. And now let's just create a form data that we will be sending to PHP. All right. Now in our form data, we need to append the file that will be sent, right? So in our variable called file, we will just add the file, the actual file, and we create a request. Right, because we need to send this request to the upload.php file, right? So we are creating a request, and then we just open the connection, and the method we'll be using is post method, and the URL here of the file, that is upload.php, or it can have a full URL also, but since both of these are in the same folder, I'll just write upload.php here, and just say true. So it's just like a listener here on ready state change, just listens, and whenever the response is complete, or whenever we have received the response from upload.php, whatever we write here will be shown on the screen. If we have written something, that will show it on the screen. So for now, I'll just write alert, and whatever we have gotten from the upload.php file. So in the upload.php file, we have certain echoes. So whichever echo is executed will be sent here, and that will be printed in the alert. Okay. So whenever we get the response, I've just handled it as an alert. Okay, we cannot directly do this because there might be an error, right? So if we check here, if so this 200 means the response code that the server sends is 200, and this ready state 4 means we have received the response. All right, so we just, and if that is the case, and then only we show whatever we have received, because if that's not the case, we might not have received this thing. Okay, so after that we just send the request. Okay, so send the form data. Okay, now this should be it. It should work. Now let's check it if it is working. So the upload.php is the same as before. Now we are just sending it using Ajax instead of directly sending it to upload.php via our HTML form. Okay, let's see if this works or not. Okay, now this is working. Now let's delete the files that we already have in our upload folder, right? So delete these two, and now as you can see, it is empty. Okay, let's choose a file here. Let's choose these two this time. Let's click Ajax upload, and it is showing the error no file chosen. All right, now that means, okay, it's an error in front end itself. It's showing no file chosen. Okay, we have not written no file chosen anywhere, so let's see what the error is. Okay, because it's we had set in multiple files, right? Again, it's showing no file chosen. Let me try to debug it. File input. Okay. Now, as you can see here, I have file here, and I'm sending this thing here, so this might be because of that. So let's check it again. Okay, now let's reload this page and choose the file again. Let's hit upload. And as you can see, it says file uploaded and saved to DB. Let's check our uploads folder, and the file is here, and in the database, if we check, these files has been uploaded multiple times as I was testing. So yeah, it's working well. And now we will see how we can upload multiple files together using Ajax.